Good day, as you know I am Kaylin, and today we're going to be discussing lock dates. So this is a feature in CS Time that you can use to lock the system in order for an operator to not edit any information before that lock date. So first things first, we need to enable that feature. So if we go to our configuration module, we go to our features window, and then we check under the miscellaneous tab. You will see there is a tick mark for lock dates. So I can just enable that, click OK, and that will now be visible in the user module. So we're going to move over to the user module. It's pretty easy to configure lock dates, so you can either do it for the entire system, which means it applies to everybody, or you can do it on an individual basis, per employee. So if you want to do it for the entire system, you go to your task menu, you go to set lock dates, and here's a wizard that pops up. You can actually set the individual employees' lock dates here as well. I'm going to show you another screen where you can actually set that then. So if we just click on next, it'll ask you, do you want to set the employee's lock date or the system one? We're obviously going to do a system. We click on next. It asks you for the lock date that you want to specify. Now remember that everything before this lock date will not be editable. So in other words, what you want to do is you don't want to go and set that, for argument's sake, to today, and then you're still in your current pay period and you need to make changes there and all that. So usually a good practice is to end off your, if you want to use lock dates, the feature, then once you've actually ended off your payroll, you've exported your hours, imported it into VIP or Pastel, etc., then you would actually come and you would set the lock date then to close off that period. So it's almost like your payroll systems where you can actually end off that pay period, and that's done. No more editing there. So in my case, what I'm going to do then is let's just set it for the 1st of June for argument's sake. We click on next and we click on finish. Now what you will see is once you've actually set the lock date for the system, you will see on the background it displays the lock date there. So that is what has been set for the system. If you want to then go and set it on an individual basis, you can go either to your Browse Employee screen, or you can obviously go via the task menu again. But in your Browse Employee screen, what you can do is set it in that employee's details there. So just to show you, before we go in there, if I go to daily hours, remember now we've set our lock date for the 1st of June. So 1st of June we set it for. So you'll see that all these are still editable. There's nothing funny looking on the screen there. Yet if we go and change this now and we select an individual lock date for this employee, if I click on change, under the company tab, you will see there's that last field there for lock date. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually select the 5th, let's see, the 5th of June. We're going to select that. So theoretically what should happen now is once we've selected that, anything up until the 5th of June shouldn't be editable. So let's go and click on OK. We go to our daily hours window again, and you will see now it displays a lock in that first column, which means that that information is now locked. So you cannot change anything there. Now if I go to, let's go choose that day, and I go to my clockings for argument's sake, and now I want to go and change this information, you'll see again there's a lock that's been displayed there. But if I want to change this, you'll see there's now only a button for close. So you cannot, you can go and change the information here if you want to, but you're not going to be really doing anything because all you can do is close the screen. So obviously you cannot go and change any of that information. You can also, if you go and process any information, it will not change any hours, so that is completely locked for any processing or changes there. And obviously now we've set a system lock date for the 1st of June, but we have done an individual lock date for this employee up until the 5th of June there. So that's using lock dates. It's a nice feature to use, especially when you have ended off your pay period and you don't want operators or employees or whatever going back and changing information that you've already processed in. Obviously it's not so much of an issue if you have printed it, everything out in reports and all that jazz, but always good practice then also to perhaps just lock your information for safety's sake there. And that's using lock dates. Easy and simple. I hope that you've learned something and that you will join me next time. Goodbye.